This morning is yours before it belongs to anyone else. In the next few minutes, before the noise begins, before the first demand of the day arrives, before the ordinary pulls at you from every direction, your mind is more open than it will be at any other point today. This is an identity shift programming session. Your reticular activating system is calibrating right now. What you feed it in these first minutes becomes the filter through which you experience everything that follows. Today it is set to find evidence that your best life is not something you are working toward. It is something you are living, right now, in this ordinary morning, one decision at a time. There was once someone who had held a clear picture of their best life for years. Not a vague wish, a specific, detailed vision of a life that felt entirely possible and somehow just out of reach. They worked toward it consistently. They made real progress. And yet, at a certain altitude, not through failure, not through any obvious crisis, they would find themselves quietly returning to the familiar edges of the life they already knew how to live. The slight pulling back, the fresh appreciation for reasons why now was not quite the right time, the subtle retreat to what was comfortable and known. They were not lazy. They were not without talent or effort or genuine desire. They were living at the ceiling of a self-image that had been set long before they chose this picture of their best life. One morning, they did something different. Instead of beginning the day with the task list, the doing of the best life, they sat quietly with a single question. What would the person already living this life do today? Not eventually, not when the circumstances aligned, not when they felt more ready or more deserving or more certain. What would that person do today, in this ordinary morning, with this ordinary day ahead? That question changed the quality of everything that followed. Not the circumstances immediately. Those shifted slowly, as they always do. But the identity behind the decisions. The standard applied quietly to each ordinary hour. The particular quality of someone who is not postponing their best life until the conditions are perfect, but choosing to live it, one decision at a time, beginning now. Over the weeks that followed, their reticular activating system began finding what it had previously filtered out. Evidence that the best life was not a distant destination, but a daily practice, available in an ordinary Tuesday, present in the quality brought to a single conversation, visible in the standard applied to work that no one else was measuring. That person is not a stranger to you this morning. That is the version of you this session is preparing. The one who brings the standard of their best life to today. Not someday, not when everything lines up. Today. Take a moment before the day begins to let that land. Shoulders back, chin level. The posture of someone who is not postponing their best life, who is living it. Today, I live my best life. Say that now, as a fact, not a wish. Today, I live my best life. Let that settle into the body, not as pressure, as permission. The best life is not a finish line. It is a quality brought to ordinary hours, starting with this one. Your reticular activating system is primed and searching. Here is what it is looking for today. Notice the moment you make a decision from the person living your best life rather than the person working toward it. It may be small. How you spend an hour, what you say yes to, the standard you apply to something no one else will measure. That decision is the best life expressing itself in real time. It counts more than it appears to. Notice the moment a challenge arrives and your first response is the response of someone who belongs in the life they are building. Not managed around, not performed through. Just the natural, grounded response of someone whose identity has quietly risen to meet the moment. Notice when you bring full effort to something, because that is simply the standard you live by now. Not for recognition, not because someone is watching, because full measure is what the best life is made of, in its ordinary, unremarkable hours. That is integrity. That is the new identity expressing itself below the surface, where it matters most. Notice the moment of genuine satisfaction that arrives from work done well, from a real connection made, from a day lived with purpose rather than simply completed. That feeling is not a reward for arriving somewhere. It is the best life happening right now, in this hour, in this ordinary day. Notice at the end of today, one moment where you lived your best life in an ordinary hour. One decision, one conversation, one quality of presence that the old identity would not have brought. That is your evidence. That is the new standard taking hold one day at a time. Today, I bring the quality of my best life to every ordinary hour. I make decisions from the person I am becoming. I apply the full measure of who I am to what is in front of me. And I let today be the evidence that my best life is not coming, it is here. Shoulders back, chin up. The day has something good in store. Go meet it